Okay, so I'm going to call the Monday, November 9th meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order. The first item, Bridget had dropped off some materials last week. It's fairly bare. There was an asbestos item that just for our files that was dropped off, and then there was a plan from Bridget. Just Catania Spagna is just doing an amendment to their license with the Board of Selectmen. And
Okay.
so, but nothing, I talked to her briefly today. She was doing a housing inspection. Of course, you know that Tipo Tacos opened last week, the
I heard,
taco place
yeah.
next to Lucia's, so she did her final walkthrough there.
Super busy, I
Super
understand.
busy. I've heard they've run out of food a couple of days.
That's great.
Well, you know, it's all fresh.
It's all
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah. And
Yeah.
flatbread looks like it's
Got the
getting
sign
very
up.
close.
I think they're
Yeah.
moving forward. No update from her on that one.
No.
So
Yeah.
I think that's still a little ways out, but
Yeah.
she was going to have some additional inspections to drop off for our next meeting.
Okay.
But she was doing some housings and following up on some housings that she had open,
Yeah.
trying to kind of close out or at least get some updates on them. So, but I did ask if she had any significant updates. No, and she couldn't join us this evening. So,
Okay.
if you guys have anything for me to go back to her with, I'd be happy to. If you want an update on anything.
You wanted to wait until we started the meeting, but you wanted to discuss the trash up there in that house?
Oh yeah, the
where they told
property
her
up
it
on
was
Washington
going to
Street,
be taken?
the waste management. She's actually, she did call them again last week.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's been transferred to another division within the bank because it's construction
Ay,
waste.
ay, ay.
It's
Yeah.
something about the waste. It's construction based, so I guess it must be a different division. But I ran by it, and I will tell you, it's not trash,
No.
like organic
Yeah.
trash. It's definitely like construction related
Yeah,
debris.
yeah.
But again, you know, like we were just saying, you know, the neighbors don't need to continue to see that, and it's also
Yeah.
it's just not good business.
That
you
was
know,
48, I believe.
48.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's gone on for a long time.
That's what
Yeah.
happens when it's bank owned.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And so that was pretty much it. She didn't have much more of an update. Again, she did her bigger thing last week was of course doing the final inspection for the taco place and getting them open.
Yeah.
And again, it does take it takes a little bit of time for that because you plan to open a restaurant and then say it's you know your anticipated date is X, but then your coolers don't cool down, so you can't have the inspector out
Right,
there
right.
because you're not going to pass, or your delivery doesn't come in and you don't have time to prep. So I think the buildup around town too, there was a lot of excitement around it, and so I hope they do well.
Yeah, well,
I
it sounds
did
like they are.
I did grab takeout for my daughter there on Saturday night because we went out and she liked it, but that's the 17-year-old's version of, you know, she thought it was pretty good.
But they're not open into the evening, are they?
No, they open
I
at
think
late,
they-
11.
Until
11 till 8.
They might be closed
Oh,
today
okay,
because
they're
it's
open
Monday.
today. Okay.
They might be closed today because it's Monday.
For some reason, I thought they were like targeting a lunch hour.
Well, that's why
it
he
goes to
said
8, yeah.
11, and
Yeah.
then I guess
Yeah.
up until 8 at night is what I understood.
Okay.
Yes, 8. Because when I was down there Saturday night, they said until 8.
And
That's great.
I didn't ask, I know they open Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, you know, are they open Wednesday through Sunday? I don't know what it
I
is.
think so. I think they're
I just know that they were
right.
amazed by
Well,
how many
I have to
people.
put that on my
visit.
list to try.
Yeah, I know. Lots of places.
And I guess you can choose whatever you want.
Yeah,
in
it's
there.
like going to, I mean, he compared it himself to Chipotle, but it's
Yeah.
privately owned.
Yeah.
And it's got their own recipe, you know, so you don't go in there,
Yeah.
it doesn't taste like that. It's his own spin on it.
But it's a
so
similar
good.
setup when you
Similar
say you
setup,
want
similar process.
this
You
and
pick
that.
the burrito or
They
your
make the
bowls.
pita
That's great.
chips,
Yeah,
and
they
they
make
have
the
their
chips
sauce,
and
so you
everything.
get them warm, and, yeah.
You guys
so-
should treat yourself to takeout night, you and your husband. You
Yeah,
should.
yeah, we will.
All right, so that was that very quick update, and so moving along, I know at the last meeting, and thank you, Mary, for chairing at the last meeting for me, and I know it's back on the agenda just because I think we just wanted to kind of keep the discussion tracking, just around the trash trash hauler license and the reporting procedures. And I think that you were trying to track
Yes.
down some documentation. I think you were looking to Mark Wetzel or someone in the position
Yeah.
to look at a biannual reporting procedure.
So I have some. This is, take one and pass it on.
There you go.
This is, Mac did a first draft for me. I made some revisions, sent it back to him.
Okay.
Irene Condon weighed in.
Is this similar to another, like what another town's reporting document would be?
I don't know where he
Oh.
got
Okay.
the format.
Okay.
I don't know. I know that he was working with Irene to make sure that it captured the information that that she needs.
Yeah.
So I had to get back with him to clarify a couple of these things myself. Paper tons, sorted tons, SSR ton, what are you putting what
Okay.
category?
Yeah.
So I've kind of added some, just clarifications down here.
Yeah, I was
The
actually,
idea is that
I'm thankful that
everything.
you did that because I wouldn't have known what
Yeah.
SSR was.
I know, I had to think a little bit.
Yeah.
But everything adds up, going across.
Okay.
So I would say take these and have a look and, see if there's anything.
So the, our regulation requires that they do this kind of reporting twice a year.
Yes.
And this kind of document is the information that we would be looking to capture. So what we're asking for isn't unreasonable, nor is it something that they shouldn't be able to provide, right?
No, I don't think so. I think the only thing that they may not be able to provide, and it might be just a matter of, redoing the form so that there aren't individual lines. I don't know that, unless they manage their routes so that they do all businesses on one day and all residential on one day.
Yeah.
I don't know that, I'm thinking of my own pickup. Waste management comes, the stuff goes in the truck. I don't know if they're leaving my residence and then going to a multifamily next or,
Oh, that's a good.
so I don't know that all of the haulers are going to be able to break it out, into each of these categories for each type of residence.
I understand.
So I am going to get back with Mac and Irene to ask them can we just keep the lines here to find out, what's your total customer count for
Sure.
each of these categories?
Actually, I
then do
wonder,
totals.
we have a contract with a hauler that the town of Ayer uses, correct? Do we use one just for anything?
I
you
guess
talking
have someone
about we, the
haul.
town?
Yeah. Do we have any hauler that we use for any purposes? I'm just wondering if we can get a third party's opinion on it, like a hauler himself.
Yeah.
To say, do you know, or do we just launch this document and have the haulers tell us?
Well, did you ask the foreman up at the transfer station?
No, because he doesn't do the reporting.
Right.
It goes through the office
Okay.
of DPW.
You're
So-
sure he doesn't know anything
Andrew?
about this, Andrew?
Well, I started out with Tim,
Well, he
who
wouldn't know
said
anything. He's
no,
the
but he
assistant.
was going to contact the folks at the transfer station to see if they knew. Never heard anything back from them. I sent an email to Mike saying, we were going to check with the guys, not sure if they're the ones that would handle it, and then this information came back from Mike. So,
And this would be that the individual haulers are reporting in, and we would basically just keep a copy and hand it to Mark as well. Right?
no, actually, our reg, fortunately, says that
Send it
this
right
is
to
to go
DPW.
directly to
Okay.
DPW.
All right. If
So,
this is the information that he needs, and if we launch this, and we find that some of these, maybe they might not. I
Well,
guess
that was
we'll
his
get feedback.
suggestion was, he said, after we do this and we see what because we have so many haulers now that we're dealing with as opposed to maybe the town or transfer station just dealing with one or two. He said, we can keep this form. The form itself is not covered in the regulations, so we can be a little bit fluid with form and
I like
kind
the
of
form. I
kind of
like
work
how
it
it's
out.
sorted out. I'd be curious to get the feedback on the categories from a hauler, but we can wait until we
Yeah.
launch that. So what will happen
Yeah.
is we will just procedurally, once we permit a hauler, we would basically provide them with a copy of this, that
Yeah.
they would, and then we
And then
would
we'll have
say-
this on our website
Right.
as well, where they can
And
get
so,
it.
but you know, when we send off the new permits, we can send a copy of this and say, you know, here's your form, it needs to be
Yeah.
completed. And then if we start seeing that it's not as minutia, like it might not be, like you said, their accounting might not say, well, we have residential, but we also multis are included in that.
Yeah, I'd like to check with Mark on that first,
Okay.
because if it's not necessary to break it down this discreetly, then really
Oh, all right,
why
so
ask
run
them
it
to
by
do
Eddie.
the work?
Yeah.
Yeah, run it by
And do
Mark
we
and
need-
see.
Pam, do we need to do the schools since they're a separate entity now?
Well, it's anybody who's
In town,
hauling in
just
town, so
It's tonnage that's being taken
Yeah.
off,
But
really.
they're. but
the school
there was-
contracts with a hauler, right?
I don't know who they contract with,
Right.
okay? So I don't know if they need to be in our report because they don't,
Yep,
you know, something to check on because they're a separate entity,
Right.
just for,
I understand.
yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want to make
I
it
think the
any
form
harder
looks
than
good, by the
it
way. I
is.
think it's pretty
Yeah.
simple. Run those categories by Mark, and then, you know,
Yeah.
Mary, do you have any edits on it?
Well, I'm just seeing it for the first
Yeah, me
time.
too.
Yeah.
What I wanted to know is, Pam, did you check any of the other communities that have been doing this for a while?
I didn't see anything online. I checked a couple and didn't find any of these forms online.
Because Shirley has had it for a while.
See if Shirley has a reporting requirement, and if they have a form.
Yeah, I can do that.
'Cause
I know in Acton we
And
Yeah.
didn't Littleton say they were thinking of updating theirs, but they've had it for several
Yeah.
years. Just do a couple
Yeah.
of communities, you know, let's not,
Yeah,
you know, try to reinvent the wheel,
Sure.
but just,
Yep.
they're near enough.
That's good. And then we're
Okay.
gonna meet again at the end of the month, so.
yeah, and I should be able to have an answer for those too.
Okay, good work though,
So-
thank you.
The next thing that I would like to do, with your blessing, is probably talk to Cindy to see if there is a way that we're now creating these databases that need to be shared between us and DPW, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have other information that really should be shared between us, the town clerk, and the animal
Yeah.
control officer.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I
what
see where you're going
infrastructure
with
the
that.
town has set up
Yeah.
for this shared access. But for instance, one of the lines on here that Mark had in his first draft was to provide a copy of the literature that's given to each of the customers.
Yeah.
And so I emailed him back and said, we don't have to get that from the haulers because we get it as part of the permitting. So we have it, we
Yeah.
can provide it, but it seems
Sure.
like emailing the stuff is kind of inefficient. It would be
Sure.
nice if there were like a shared drive that we could.
right. Well, you know what, we can actually,
So I
we
can-
can always have that conversation. I know from conversations I've had with Cindy since I came onto the board, that there is some kind of a movement to do more like online permitting stuff, you know, online
Mhm.
availability of stuff.
Yeah.
I know because when I worked for the government, when I worked in local government, there are shared drives, like there's typically like a local area network.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if we, and even at my job, there's corporate drives where we share information.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let me ask Cindy, because
Okay.
if there is, we can just save copies over there as a reference.
Yeah.
Shared
Because
computer
I don't
drive.
think the online permitting
No.
is up yet.
No. And
It
I
would
think
be-
all this would be is actually even easier. It's just, do we have a shared drive that when Jane gets stuff in, that if we have a copy in our office, but can we save an electronic copy to a shared drive? So
Right.
if Mark needs to go reference
Yep.
something,
can-
or the police, or, you know, or in any, it happens to be
We can
solid
just
waste
upload
right now,
everything
but-
we have on a hauler. But I think the other application for it, though, is there's really what seems like kind of an inefficient process with the dog licensing.
Oh, local government is inefficiency by definition. I mean,
Yeah,
the
they-
towns that have been proactive have put a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so, I know that there is a movement to do more, but I just don't know where that stands, because I
Yeah.
met with
Yeah.
Cindy. I want to say I met with Cindy right after I was reappointed as chairman, and we decided that we were going to talk somewhere around the end of the year, because there was questions around digitizing stuff and archiving stuff and having online
Yeah,
records.
Yeah.
And so they were looking at doing something. I made some notes at one point about working with a consultant on it, or getting some feedback. It was a while
the
back.
online?
On the online stuff, but it also came, the discussion went to,
It's not ready yet.
is that if we went to online, if we wanted to get rid of physical, remember we talked about physical records?
Yeah,
at
we
one
did,
point?
yeah.
But I agree, if there's a database to keep,
That dog license, that's an Excel spreadsheet,
Yeah.
and it's really owned by town clerk, because anybody, you can move into town tomorrow and bring in your paperwork and license your dog, and then you get added to the list. But the only way they share that is they have to remember to send an email
Right.
to us, to the police department,
right,
they
if there
have
was a
it,
shared
so.
space, even if they saved it as a read-only document out. on the
Yeah,
shared-
yeah, which would be perfect.
I'll ask her. It's a pretty simple question, as a matter of fact. It's either yes
I
or
know
no.
the
Yeah.
permitting is something that
Long, yeah.
Chris Hillman
Yeah.
keeps saying, as a businessman, if he could go on and pull a permit, but that isn't up and
Yeah.
running yet, so.
Well, I can turn this, if need be, into an Adobe fillable form,
All
if
right.
we want to do that online.
All
so.
right.
Awesome.
Well, I'll follow up with you guys. I'll talk to Cindy. As a matter of fact, I have a very brief Cindy item at the end of the meeting, nothing critically at all, just
Okay.
a simple update. All right, thank you. So if you can get another update on that form
I will
between
do
now and
that.
the next meeting, that would be great. Actually, if you could get it to us ahead of the next meeting, if possible. so
I
we
will,
can
yeah.
Look at it. That would
Yeah,
be
this
great.
just got finalized today,
Yeah, no, that's
so that was the
fine. I
last minute.
appreciate the work on that. And I know that just for purposes of record keeping, Jane had put a copy of the trash haulers' responses up until now. And I think it's a pretty fair response considering it's a new reg. And so we'll take action after the first on anybody we see in town that's not permitted, and
Well, this is
assess
gonna,
it that way.
what's gonna be interesting about this is, like, the one that concerns me is Republic. They have a lot of commercial customers. And when I went over all the applications with Jane, their insurance form was out of date and they didn't meet the minimum insurance limits for the
Okay.
regulation.
Okay, I wanted to ask.
So what would we do
about some of these.
in that case?
Well, we don't permit them if they don't meet our reg.
Because that's going to affect a lot of businesses.
Well,
I think that it's a problem.
Yeah.
And I would actually be curious to see what letter was sent. Is there a certified letter that was sent?
Yes.
And what we said in that letter, because did you help write this letter?
No, I just,
I hope
No,
it's strong enough, Jane, because I didn't see it. So I really hope what you sent to them is
here, let me.
got enough
You want
teeth in
me
it.
to publish?
I just want to see what we sent, yeah.
yeah, we had a couple. Actually, I take that back. I think Republic, they look like they met the insurance limit. So I don't, for people watching at home,
Yeah.
their cert was out of date. It was a
Okay.
different,
Okay.
it was Waste Not, who I see around town quite a bit, too.
Well,
Bonnie in my
actually,
area.
I heard back, there was, let's see, these are, okay.
Pam, on this list here now, unless they go by another name,
And
I don't see Conway. Are they somewhere else? They were
I
on my
don't
list,
know.
but they're not on this unless they
Oh,
are
well, maybe I
under.
didn't, maybe somebody called and said they weren't active in the area. I don't know if it was.
I
Maybe
think
I
I
missed
had
them.
them because
I could
on my
miss them.
original list
Description.
that I gave in, because I see their containers.
Oh, they actually have containers in town? Yeah, then they would be active in the area.
That's why I'm going from my list
Yeah,
to your list here.
yeah.
All right, so you sent these out on the 29th, which is fine. I see one was signed. What's your plan for follow-up then? You didn't give them a date to come in, so I guess that's
Well,
I mean, if you're gonna send a certified,
they've got a date because they've got to get the permit by,
No, I know, but I mean,
Yeah.
just events force action.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you're,
I personally, these are business people. They know they
We're not
need
gonna permit
this.
them, and
We're
maybe
just
that's
not gonna-
the-
We shouldn't, Jane should not be.
no, but they're
spending all her
inadequacies on their
time.
application.
Yes,
Right.
but as far
Yeah.
as any of these
No,
others,
she's not
follows it
chasing
up.
anybody that's not responding.
No.
And Jane, do not chase anybody that doesn't respond, because we will get them by order. But the ones that have inadequate submittals,
Yes, yes.
my concern is we're on November 9th right now. They've submitted, they've paid,
yes.
but their
Yep.
application is incomplete. So, and did we cash their checks?
Yep.
Yep, they're all done.
So,
And they're non-refundable.
please come
So-
up with a plan that, if they don't respond, there's 3 of them that look like you, oh no, I'm sorry, 4, that you have reached out to that were inadequate.
Well, actually, a couple of them have come through.
Okay.
I think there's only 3 now that are not.
Okay.
There were only, 2 that were conforming, but
Yeah.
most of the
Okay.
people got a hold of, they were
Okay.
Johnny on the spot and responded right away
Okay.
and we got our
So
stuff.
focus on the ones that are incomplete.
Yeah, and there were 2 really.
Okay.
Who are some of these, like Wellesley Trucking?
I don't know, I'm looking at this list. This is,
I am too.
I printed mine without. I think we actually got some kind of referral in that they were working in town. They submitted.
Yeah, I just wondered, are they trash or are they just bringing something into?
Do you have their application with you, Jane, for Wellesley Trucking?
I just sent them what?
No,
everybody
but
else-
Yeah.
on their submittal back, did they?
Oh. Yes.
Well, they would only need a permit if they're hauling
Right.
things
didn't
away.
say.
They can't be bringing
Yeah,
things
I
in.
did, well, I've never seen
Yeah.
them, that's why.
Yeah, I
That
don't know
and-
half the
Yeah.
companies on this list. but-
JRM hauling, I don't know.
Yeah,
who
I've
they
got,
are.
I don't know. If
I
they're
have
not
seen
on there-
JRM, so I think. the
If
list
they're
is-
on there,
Okay.
if I've said that they have responded,
All right,
I just
So-
don't know off the top of my
okay.
head.
Alright.
So focus on the incomplete ones. You've sent them the letter.
Yes,
Give us an update at the next meeting on where they stand, but don't spend your time in the office chasing these 2 or 3, because I do agree with Mary that they've received this notification that their application is incomplete, and if they don't have a permit after January 1st, then there's a fine stipulation in the reg, so.
We might want to consider also getting our list of permitted haulers
Right.
to Gabe, because when you file for
We'll
the
get
building
there.
permit,
We'll get there.
it's another way to.
What do you mean?
When you file for a building permit, you have to say what's, going to happen with the,
What-
any construction debris.
Oh,
where's
so
it
if
gonna
they
be taken,
happen
who's
to
gonna
say
take it.
who's licensed and who's not,
Yeah, so
that's
he,
another catch-all.
it's kind of another check and balance, if he.
We'll just give them a copy.
Yeah,
But it's not something that's in our regs though for,
No, but if a hauler, right, on well, it's a dumpster, a construction dumpster.
yeah, for deconstruction, like Sons of Christoph, we had. And I think that's all they really do, are, dumpsters, maybe even only construction dumpsters out in this area. They're from Sterling, so they're pretty far away.
I've never seen any
Yeah.
around.
All right.
Yep, so,
Well,
there-
you
I
can
think
always
there's a
use
few
it as a
here that.
reference, but I really don't, we're gonna get them. We'll get them as they come in. And-
I've only
and I
heard
think-
from one person saying that they didn't, they weren't hauling in this
Okay.
area, so
Okay.
Who was that, Jane?
I can't remember. I
All right.
could dig through this
No,
and tell
that's
you.
all right. I don't wanna spend
You
too much of
know,
our.
you just know
board meeting
yourself
on-
who you see. going
Absolutely.
through.
Yep,
Absolutely. Well, we'll just look just for a general update on who's come in and who's completed. And we'll move forward on that. And then Pam for the next meeting
yeah,
with
I'll
your.
have the final rep
Yeah,
for that.
okay, great. All right. And I'm overdue on an update. I met with our new Region 2 Public Health Emergency Preparedness Planner. That's a mouthful. Jamie Terry. I met with her that week after we met last. I met her with her
Yep.
like the next morning. And as you know, she did replace Ken Geekus. He did end up taking retirement earlier than he expected for health issues, and I think you probably know in general. She is on board though, like full steam ahead. So Jamie Terry used to work for Neshoba Board of Health, so she's a health agent,
She
did,
and so she worked for a couple of towns. So when we saw each
okay.
other here, we knew each other already because she had also worked in another town. So we knew each other from some of our former health
Got it.
advocacy groups together. So.
I got it.
So what we're doing right now, there's a couple of things. Is one, she's doing a complete inventory administratively of all of the documentation that Ayer has on file with her.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say is we all loved working with Ken. Sometimes the breath of fresh air that comes in is a new set of eyes that says, ooh, Ayer is missing something, and it might have been something that he had a star next to and just never got to. So she's looking at those with a new eyes and a new broom, right? And she's like, okay, we need to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So we sat together. She did a pretty full review of our emergency dispensing plan for the school. And we updated administratively names and phone numbers, and most of it had already been done because Ken and I did it. But of course, there's just changes. The superintendent name is different now again, you know. And then I just got her an updated floor plans for the high school because it's finished now. Because we had kind of tagged the Page Hilltop School as our interim dispensing site. Well, now I just got the floor plans from Mr. Varga, the interim principal up at the high school, and sent them to her. And she and I are going to get together again and just look at them because and just kind of go from the old plan to the new plan and just try to map out the same course of treatment, you know, the pre-treatment screening, the registration, the treatment, the post-treatment, just the workflow of it, and then meet with the school to show them. They know what it is. We have an MOU with them, so they're aware of what it is.
Yeah.
And Mr. Varga was the assistant principal under Mr. Haas. So he knew who I was because I had been up there a year ago to meet with Mr. Haas on the construction and what we were going to do. So she and I are just going to update the floor plan for the emergency dispensing system. As you heard, went through my email through Jane, she had done a full inventory on all of our trainings. So thank you for taking care of those. And so she and I are going to probably meet just in a couple more weeks after she's had a chance to make all of the edits and digest. I mean, she's inherited all of these towns.
How many towns does she
I
have?
want to say it's
I forget how many.
it's a dozen at least, I think. The region, so whatever the region is.
It's a lot.
So she's got a lot of work, but it was nice to meet with her because we both kind of speak the same language. So I was able to go through it with her probably in about an hour. We sat together, and so she was going to finish her inventory and let me know what else we needed. But I'm happy to take the lead on giving her any of the it's all administrative stuff. That's all. It's just crossing T's and dotting I's. We talked a little bit about the Medical Reserve Corps. Remember, we had Lois Levinovich that was here. And what we did actually look at was the amount of volunteers that we have in our bank. And she said, well, I'll just reach out to Lois and see what she's been doing to recruit. Because our volunteer level in town is, as you're probably painfully aware, is pretty low for the Medical Reserve Corps. And so while we're confident,
idea how many envelopes
that's
I
what I'm
addressed.
saying is I know Mary and the former board were on board when we had to start recruiting for it. The Medical Reserve Corps is just a group of volunteers that would staff an emergency dispensing site, you know, that we could call upon in the event of an emergency in the town. And that bank is pretty low for Ayer. I want to say it's almost, I want to say it might even be under 20 people. Like, that have literally officially said, I'm available. What Jamie and I were saying is, in the event of an emergency, probably more people would just raise their hand. Like, in, you know, like unofficially, but it would be really nice to be able to say, well, we have 45 nurses on this list, and we have 2 physicians, and we have a couple of folks in town that are registered pharmacists. You know, it would be really nice
because
to
you have
have
people that
that.
have at least had a training
Something.
session.
And then we, you know, and so But
And
she
you
was
need
going to
volunteers
connect.
just to do paperwork, too,
Exactly.
to register
You need
people.
people
Yeah.
from start
Yeah.
to finish. And so she was going to connect with Lois and do a little bit of that
She
legwork
did
and
say
see
that,
where
yeah.
Lois was going to go. And I did invite Jamie, maybe sometime after the first of the year, to come meet the board, just to have a chance to, but I figured we could have everything updated and then she could come to the board.
She
just
did
for-
call me at home.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
she did her.
Oh, yeah, she called me too.
One,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yep, yep.
She was actually pretty great. She texted
Yeah.
me and she said, "Congratulations, all three of you, within 20 minutes, and you
Yeah.
were all available if you had to report." Did you get a phone call?
No.
Oh, that's right. I think she only calls the board.
Yeah.
It's an emergency response phone call where she has to reach out to you. And in theory, you're supposed to respond back within 24 hours, but we clearly are all ninjas. So
We were on top of it, I
responded.
guess.
Well, I
Yeah.
did get an email, but I didn't get it until, I think I got it Friday. So,
Yeah,
how quickly
yeah.
will you
That's all right.
respond?
Yeah.
Well,
that's
the
all
thing
right.
is, like she said with us, is would you be available
Yeah.
within 20 minutes
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
to an emergency
Yeah,
in town?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So we passed, so that was
Okay.
good. So stand by, I'm gonna continue to talk with her, we've been emailing back and forth, like I said, I emailed her the updated floor plans for the high school.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably connect again, and then, just review that and make sure the high school understands the who, what, where, when of what we're doing,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
update them, because they do have the new superintendent, and they have the new, well, he's the interim principal, right?
So are they finished enough that we're ready to switch back to them?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, my daughter's got a full high school on her hands. I think they're doing like some
No,
finish
I
work,
yeah.
like some punch list stuff, but you should actually go take a look at it. Did you
Yeah,
go to
I
the
should.
open, did you go in into the
Well,
open?
half, it was
Yeah, yeah.
half that day.
Yeah.
It was just,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I'm
nice-
taking a class in
Nice
the
looking.
video room.
Yeah,
Oh,
Awesome
really?
studio.
Nice.
I think it's
Nice.
a lot
Nice.
of outside
there's a lot of
groundwork
open
to be
space
doing.
and a lot,
to-
yeah,
yes,
that's
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then take a look at it, it's pretty cool.
Cafeteria, they've done a lot of work. It's just
open,
a
open
much
floor plan.
Nice.
nicer than it used to be.
Well, I would hope so.
Really nice.
So I'll look to get her on the
Yeah.
agenda sometime after the first of the year.
Okay.
It'll be maybe even in February, I mean, because we were so updated already, we're probably like, in
Yeah.
her towns, like,
Not in
not
bad
as
shape.
critical, right?
Yeah. What's her home base? Where does she
Where
operate
is
out
she?
of?
She's actually, you'd have to ask me that, right? She's not where Ken was from, which was like Webster.
Yeah.
She's not from, when I
Is she
say
around
she's in
here?
this area. She
Yeah.
might be south of here, I want
Okay.
to say. It might be Southborough or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she worked in Southborough as a health agent, so. Okay, moving
Oh,
onward.
while
yeah,
you're,
please.
you said you wanted to talk, just mention it when Pam got here and we started the
Sorry.
meeting, something about abandoned houses.
Oh, apparently the DPW director had mentioned that it would be, if the Board of Health had anything around abandoned properties, that they could, of course, use as a reference for when they need to shut water off. And just briefly, because we were discussing it, this board looked at those draft regulations a couple years ago and determined
Yes.
that A, there wasn't a critical
Yeah.
public health need to work on that, nor would there be there's no bandwidth to be able to keep that. I mean, and I was
Yeah.
saying this, and I
Yeah.
don't say it to be tongue in cheek, but we're having a hard time with a foreclosed property getting a bag of construction debris picked up.
I know.
And so, while I think that it would be great to have those lists of properties as a reference,
Yeah.
public health wise, I don't think this board has seen any driving factor.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
had a whole group here.
And there was a whole group
way-
well before.
Way
Yeah.
back, starting it. But
Yeah.
the thing is, unless you have a whole inspectional service department that's big and full-time,
Right.
that can go out there and do something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just dropped off. and
I think
there
that,
was nothing.
right, and I think that we're not seeing a driving need behind abandoned properties at least from, when I say from a public health perspective, I mean, we're not seeing properties that have been abandoned that are infested or that are
Right.
creating a public health issue
Yeah.
that we need to move forward. I do think it would be nice to have it as a resource, but for this board, I think we decided at the time that we had, we needed to focus
Yeah.
more around the public health issues that we were being faced with. So,
It might even be more of a concern for the fire department. to
Right.
get those,
Right.
X's on,
Right.
so they know they don't have to go in.
And there was a big discussion around that. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually remember we even talked about that.
Yeah,
Look, we had,
It's,
it took us how many years to get the property on Willard Street? That was
Mhm.
yep,
years.
yeah, I know.
So at this point, this board isn't moving forward on those regulations. I think we decided, as a group, about 2 years ago or so, that we were gonna,
Yeah.
we were focusing on the regulations at hand that were critical. We were doing the moratorium on the wells and then the trash regulations, and so.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for reminding me of that, Mary. Next up is the minutes of October 19th. I was not at, so I will let the two of you,
Well,
I did have a
made-
chance to review.
I made my corrections, and then Jane said you had some, and I said,
Yep.
whatever Pam has is fine with me because you presented that part of it.
Yeah, I just made some corrections to the part about the RAB meeting, but
Mm-hmm.
it's, I would
Well,
move,
then I'll move that we approve them,
and I will second that.
and that's from
Great.
October 19th.
A motion has been made and seconded to accept the minutes of October 19th. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Excellent.
Let's do it.
I will sign them. And I'm gonna send this folder around, and so while I'm sending it around, I'm actually also gonna send around, there's a bill in here. It's just an invoice for some batteries, and,
Oh,
actually,
it's, no, not for batteries.
that's not batteries,
It's,
it's black toner. It's for
Toner.
$16.99.
yeah.
So I'll
That's for
send that around.
our new,
Yeah.
laser printer.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send that around with the minutes folder as well.
And I got them through Cindy. It would have cost about $60 to get them through,
It's gotta be through a contract, which is nice.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah,
that
she
saves
said
money,
that.
you know.
Yeah.
anything
yeah,
that
it saved a
saves-
significant
you know,
amount of money.
I know, especially with something like toner. That,
Maybe like
you know,
$40.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I originally ordered it from our usual supplier, and then when Cindy said something about it, I said, oh, really? And I sent it back and got it from her, because there was
Great.
such a difference.
That's great.
Yep.
And that's the first one you've had to order since we got a new one, right?
Yeah, well, I ordered one that came with it.
Right, but that's the first one. So.
But this is, what happened is, it comes with a kind of a beginning
Oh,
cartridge.
yeah, it's got like
That's a
nothing
short
in
one,
it.
so it
Yeah.
ran out, so I put in the one that I ordered to come with it.
Got it.
Yeah,
So then I
Understood.
wanted to have one, a backup.
Absolutely.
yeah, I do that
You know,
too.
so,
Okay.
but
Great.
when, I was astounded at the savings. So.
I'm astounded at the savings, so well done. Ed,
Yeah.
For that government.
Yeah.
$16.99 for toner, that's what I pay for shipping on toner.
That's
I mean, it's,
incredible.
Well, this is repacked, you know how
Right,
they
it's
repack.
Yeah, the
I do,
refill
yeah.
ones, yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter to me
Yep.
whether it's new
They
or
work, they work.
refilled.
Yeah,
All right. There's not a lot of mail. The mail is.
yeah, it's been very quiet as far, I mean, I've been busy, but
Yeah,
as far
yeah,
as stuff
yeah.
coming in, it's
Yeah.
been very
Just a
quiet.
budget report, if
That can be
anybody is
good.
interested. And just a sodium notification just from the, to the department, the DPW. Oh, to the town from the DPW.
What is this?
It is it's just sodium testing results for the water supply.
Oh, okay.
I know, it took me a second too, because I'm like, let me see. And I'm actually just trying to see what I think it looks like we're okay. I was just trying to see the, okay, it's just a standard reporting of the sodium one. I actually had something to ask, and does anybody want to see this stuff? Okay.
No.
Because we'll just go right into miscellaneous, because I did have two things I wanted to bring up. One is I did have an email from Cindy Knox. Apparently the town and she just sent it to me today, as a matter of fact. I got an email. We're in the process of redesigning the town's website. The new website will have a fresh look, the context will be quicker to access, and it will look great on mobile devices. She's been reviewing all of our content, and I'll send this over to you, Jane. If you could review the current pages and send any changes, and then what she's asking for is something called a frequently asked questions area. This could just be 3 to 5 questions. So if we have common questions that we know come into us, it's a way to just put it out on the website. Who do I call, to register a complaint about food? Well, you would call Bridget Braley at, those kinds of FAQ things. So, so I'll send it over to you. The deadline is November 23rd. I think it's probably just a moving target, though, because I think if we gave her some updates and then found more updates, they would probably always be able to be applied. But I'll send this over to you. She did send it over later this afternoon. Actually, she sent it over about 2:30, and I just printed out a hard copy of it.
I have a suggestion for an FAQ. This is one that drove me crazy in my short stint as admin.
Yes.
What is the difference between the Ayer Board of Health and the Neshoba?
That's actually,
Associated?
you know what?
Wow.
It's actually a pretty good.
It really seems to throw people, and I think that we just happen to have the building in our town.
That's a very.
You know why I figured it out? I went online because people will say, "Oh, I looked it up." If you Google Neshoba Associated Boards of Health, it comes up, and the Ayer Board of Health is right underneath it.
Yeah.
And actually, if I recall correctly, our telephone number shows up, but Neshoba's does not. I might be wrong about that.
But we could always do our part.
But it's the way that it comes up. So they're accessing online, and if you didn't know any better and you were casually doing it, it looks like.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of
We
things.
could do something like that.
But yeah,
Okay.
it is about 90% of my calls are for Neshoba.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
come from everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do that. We'll come up with some FAQs, but I think what would really be important. So I want to get to 2 things, and then I'll go back to this web thing. Was can you just confirm that tobacco went out?
Yes, I did.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
It went out on Tuesday.
can I ask you, did we get the new name because it's not Hannaford anymore?
Yes.
Oh, Shop and Save.
Yeah, but I mean, when I say the new name, whoever the person is that's.
Oh, when it was sent
It's
out.
Mike.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he has not, that's the other thing is, and I thought about these are Mike Zales. Here's the stuff with the tobacco that went on. He has yet to give me the stuff from the state, so he better not be selling.
He's been open for almost a month without a tobacco permit.
Oh,
Yeah,
Have you reached out to him?
yeah. I
When was
did.
your last outreach to him?
The day he opened,
Okay.
and
So I'll help you draft something. If he doesn't have it.
well, he said his holdup, he's waiting to get the permit from the state.
and he should be selling them.
We have his money, we have everything
Right.
except
I understand.
his state,
Can you let
CT.
the tobacco control program know that he's open without a tobacco permit? And they can do an inspection.
Well, I'm not sure that he's selling, I mean,
No, they can go, we're gonna the list goes, the tobacco control program does compliance inspections.
okay, so I should call, what's her name?
Joan?
Joan.
Absolutely.
Okay, Hamlet,
Let her handle it.
okay.
Yeah, and you can
All right.
show her your communications to him. She can go out there, because if he's selling tobacco,
The vineyard is selling tobacco?
yeah. Beer, wine, tobacco, vineyard.
They kind of go together.
Yeah, they do,
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of,
yeah.
it's a common
Oh, yeah.
combination.
And then my other follow-up on that, and forgive my, can we confirm that Carlene has the barn book?
She does,
She does have it.
Oh, did they send a new one?
yeah. I'm pretty sure, I'll follow up on that, I think she told me she got it.
All right.
That was so
Um,
strange.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can actually email her myself because I'd like to know how she's doing with it. You know, as far as getting on site. We've historically
Yeah.
told her if she has any trouble to come to us and let us know because the book is due at the first of the year.
Yeah.
We've always been very good at turning it in at that point.
Is
Yeah.
there some
So-
problem with this, Mary?
No, I was just looking at it.
Oh,
that's all.
okay,
Why,
okay.
why, did you give that to me?
No, I was
Oh,
just
she just
setting
said
it
it.
down and
Oh,
I
Oh,
just,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
No, I
I
don't.
just, but you were,
No, I
Hearing
was just,
it was
well, I,
something else.
with the one you had given
Yeah.
before. I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
looking
I
at it.
just have, I'm just a little smarter about the Excel
Sure.
spreadsheet thing
All right.
than I used to be, so it looks a
Just
little
remind
neater.
Carlene that if she has any trouble getting onto any properties to let us know because she can always turn the book in if she can't get to them and we can try to help her
Yeah.
out like we have before. But
Yeah.
she's been she did
She's
a
got
pretty
some
good
pretty
job
good
last
relationships
year.
with her
Now she
standard
does.
people now.
Exactly. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so it was tobacco and barn book. I just wanted to ask for quick updates on something.
And we also got, I don't know if you noticed it in the correspondence, we got an advisory from the Department of Agriculture
chicken.
on the chicken influenza.
What poultry owners need to know.
Oh, it's very serious.
Oh.
It's been wiping out like
Yeah.
whole flocks of chickens, and that's
Yeah.
why the egg prices are so high right now.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
it's a
that's been on the
crisis.
news for a while.
It's a,
yeah.
it's a huge
Where have I
problem.
been? I did not know this.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So anyway, I scanned it and
Yeah,
sent it
I saw
over to
that.
her.
Okay. So for the next meeting, I'll have a couple of just simple updates. I don't need an agenda for the next meeting. I'll talk to Cindy about the shared drive. And I'll give you guys a quick update on the website. Our next meeting is November 23rd. We need to have the agenda posted well ahead of time because of the holiday, Thursday, Friday, so we need to have the agenda to her, which we're typically very good about. I know she has to send out that reminder to say, I told you so. And then I actually wanted to ask the board about the two meetings at the end of the year. Last year, we met around the same time on that second meeting in December 28th.
I thought we only had one meeting
Yeah,
last
so I was
year.
actually gonna ask the board that we can meet in December on the 14th.
Yeah.
And just maybe keep in mind that we might just cancel the 28th.
Oh, I thought we already had.
Yeah,
We already had
I
canceled.
thought so.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Told you.
No, we
We did.
put only one meeting for December.
yeah.
For this year, I have both, but that's,
Oh, no,
that's
no,
okay.
no.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with
both
that.
too. But that works for me.
That
if you
works,
wanna-
well, because I'm
yeah.
taking the week off between the two, so I was just leaving it.
That's on our
open.
list.
But I
But-
think we might have verbally said it.
I
Yeah,
have no
sorry.
problem
I
with
got a
that.
fuzzy head.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
taking
Most of the
that week off
time.
too, so
And
I'd
I
love
think
to.
most of the boards and committees do too.
That was my
Yeah.
thought.
Because there's so much
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on and.
Yeah, okay.
That is true.
So we're gonna meet on November 23rd and then December 14th. So
And now,
that will be
the
good.
23rd, that's the Monday of Thanksgiving
Right.
Correct.
week.
You traveling?
Okay, I got it. No, I was
Okay.
just trying to figure that out because
Yeah.
my calendar gets a little weird
And we
there,
have
so,
to remember
okay.
too, holiday-wise, with Christmas, I think Christmas is on a Friday.
Friday.
So I believe that Thursday, I'd have to look in my personnel files and you would have it in your contract too. Are they off Thursday from here? You better look
Double check.
on it
I don't know.
because
Yeah.
well, see, and it's a little bit confusing too because now Friday is sort of a half day here.
Right, so we'll.
And I
Oh,
think the
yeah,
policies
yeah,
are, I think
right,
they
right.
have the day I know, for example, they always have, it's in the book,
Yeah.
the day after Thanksgiving. So people always had that Thursday and Friday off. So just
Yeah.
double check holiday-wise
Okay.
as
Holiday
to
schedule. Okay.
Okay.
what's
All
going
right.
on.
Excuse me.
And
All right.
I would think that our agenda is pretty much
It's
the
gonna be
same.
pretty, yeah. Yeah, we'll be pretty light unless something.
Well, I
unless
mean,
something
I
comes up.
think that
we pretty much,
You could use almost the
almost
same.
everything, and then anything
We
that
won't have
happens to come
anything
in.
with,
Right,
Yeah.
but just business
Yeah.
items are mostly the same, so we should be all set.
Yeah.
We'll just update it if anything comes in between now and then, you know. I mean, Bridget was
Yeah.
doing a housing today, you never know, they could
Yeah.
appeal it, who knows, do you know what I mean?
was it here in
It
town?
wasn't there, but you never know. She had just said it wasn't there, we didn't really get into the details of it, but you never know, the landlord could always appeal,
Yeah,
you never
yeah.
know.
No,
We still have the annual report to do.
Yeah, I'd like a due date for that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
can I just go back and ask a
Being
question on the,
proactive.
I'm sorry, I
Okay.
didn't talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Talk over you. On the trash haulers, so if we don't have anything from the rest of these people, are we gonna send out one more
No.
letter just saying you
After the first
can't?
year, if they're not permitted,
Yeah,
when we see them in town, they're gonna get a fine from us.
oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm cool with that.
yeah. People have
I
to,
am cool
it's
with that.
personal responsibility.
I'm
Oh,
not-
Mary, that's gone out of fashion, haven't you
I
heard?
know.
Not with me, it
Oh my
hasn't.
gosh.
Completely
All right,
out of
so,
style.
does anybody else have anything, Pam, Mary?
The only thing I'd like you to think and consider next year is budget-wise,
Okay,
finances.
yep, yep.
We have no wiggle room, and you know me, I wouldn't spend
know.
a cent if I didn't
I know.
have to.
As a matter of fact, speaking of that, I was actually gonna take a training in a week or two, and I knew we had bumped up our training thing, but I'm not taking it. But it was funny, because I was thinking about it, and I go, oh, we actually increased our training budget if one of us did wanna go, but I opted for a free online training, that I didn't have to go sit for
Free
an
is
afternoon.
always good.
Well, and not wasting a Saturday in a hotel banquet room.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I'm like,
I
no,
know.
I'm all set.
There's a free online alternative?
No,
So that
not
is
for,
it
so
the-
what I need is I need to renew my health credential. I'm certified through the National
Oh, okay.
Environmental
okay.
Health Association.
Yeah,
And I have
yeah.
to give them my education credits. So last year I went to the MAHB board thing, and
Yeah.
that's a day I can't ever get back.
I know.
And
I
so,
know. It was great for me being new to Board of Health, but I
It
can
was
see
perfect
where,
for
for
you.
an experienced
It's
person,
perfect
it might
for
have been a
you.
little.
you know, what's funny is our
Basic.
spending looks pretty good right now too, but if we need to look at anything.
Well, the thing is, though, this is only just early
Right.
November.
That's right.
And you
That's
think
right.
in terms of, for example, with these new trash hauler rates.
Right.
Might we end up having an extra meeting or something?
Right, I agree.
Or
Yep,
a
yep, yep.
posting because it's new.
Or something.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
And I don't know if the rates go up for advertising, you know, we always
Right.
have to look at these things. and-
You got it. So it's good to think about, and good to think about where we might, where we're spending now and where we might want to increase, or where we, you know, might want to add on some additional funding to cover us. I agree.
Right, because if something happened and we need a couple of extra meetings.
Yep.
You need to have it.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
Got
need
it.
to have some money
Yep.
so that we could say, we can do this, and we have a couple of hours. If we needed Jane to come in for a couple of
Got it.
hours, you know.
Yeah.
I'm all in. Got it.
Just to really review.
Okay.
uh,
And that typically,
Actuals.
they start asking us for budget stuff. It's probably not until like February or March.
Oh,
I think.
no, you're way wrong.
They're gonna start asking in January.
Yes, ma'am.
It's crazy, 6 months ahead of time.
Well,
I know.
yeah, but you
I know.
remember, it has
I
to
know.
go
I know,
before.
finance committee.
Well,
Yeah.
finance committee, a public hearing, and then
Yeah.
printed and
Yep.
on the warrant, so.
Yep, that's true.
All right. Just wrap your melon around what you might wanna. Okay. Anything else?
One thing for me.
Sure.
I've agreed to take a 4-hour-a-week job to help out the planning board. So, I just wanted to.
And what
let you
day
know.
is that?
Open.
All right, I
Flexible.
prefer it not be on Tuesday, Thursday, so it doesn't overlap with your job in our
Well,
department.
it might be Tuesday and Thursday after 9. I work from 9 until 2. And
So
those
you
are
would
my
work-
set hours.
So you would work 2 to 6, or 2 to 4, or whatever, however.
Whatever, I don't know
Okay.
what. And I
So,
start this week, I
yeah,
just heard
okay.
today.
It's the first I've heard of it in this meeting, just so the board members are aware of that.
Me too.
Well, I just heard today.
No, I know. And
So-
I don't have any problem with it. I think I would go back to when you were going to serve on the planning board, that I can't see any overlap between the two. Because your hours with us are so limited, that I would ask that it be very clear between,
Yeah,
physically as well. You can work in their office for the
Right.
4 hours.
yep,
Okay.
yep,
All
agreed.
right.
Yep.
I just want to make sure, only by virtue of the fact that, your role with us for 15 hours sometimes is taxing, because so many things come in at certain times of the year. End of year tobacco, chicken, you name it, food
Yeah.
permit, food complaints, that kind of stuff. Just making sure that those 4 hours are spent physically in the planning board office, not sitting in our office, because I want to make sure there's just a clear definition.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, no worries. And I know my set hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 until 2.
Right. And then whatever other day you make up the
Right.
rest of your 15
Yeah.
hours with us. So,
And sometimes I work late on Tuesdays.
no, I understand.
And
I've
this
seen
week, because I agreed to drive a friend to Dana-Farber on Friday, I will probably be working tomorrow.
that. Just extra hours.
But on
Tuesday.
after 2 o'clock.
No, I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who will you be reporting to with the planning
Jeremy,
board?
and to Robert and to Carly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now, will you be attending their meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
And doing their minutes. So, that's probably going to take up most of my time right there.
Yeah, I imagine. Is that zoning too, or is it
No,
just
planning.
No,
Just
it's
planning.
planning.
Yeah. Carly does the zoning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and they only gave me 4 hours, so I still don't have any benefits.
Well, I know, and my
Getting
concern is
closer.
Yeah, that's right.
My concern is 4 hours isn't enough for that position, because
Yeah.
they've been working without for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a
be
mess over
be
there.
cautious of that.
Yeah.
As far as how you manage your own time and your deliverables to this board, it would be very easy. It's in human nature when you
I
agree to help
know.
somebody to end up putting in more hours. So just watch out for
Oh,
your.
it's strictly,
Yeah.
it is strictly done. Well, they couldn't do any more. Remember that the budget was zeroed out.
No, I know. I
So
know.
this is the only way they came
Right.
up with,
Yeah.
and they're taking this out of, I believe, UDAG money
Mm.
until the end of the year. What will go on will be in next year's budget, but
I see.
there's a specific amount. It can be no more than.
I was wondering how they're getting
Minutes.
around
Oh, no.
the funding.
But I do
Okay.
appreciate you offering to help them, because I think that they need some kind of support.
Well, I
up
think
there
it was
in some way.
advertised too. They
Yeah,
advertised
I
it.
think that it's a situation. I think it'll benefit the residents in town to have some level of support,
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
minimal as it
absolutely.
is. But okay, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Anything else, folks?
Does it?
No.
Is that a
Motion
motion
to
to
adjourn?
adjourn? That's what I thought it was. A motion's been made to adjourn by Pam.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Spinner. Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.